And all of these nights at BBC Radio Oxford. Good morning to you. It's Sophie with you for Saturday morning. Got music coming up from Mimi Webb. Brilliant new track from her called Red Flags. We've got Moloko on the way as well and the New Radicals. But first, we're talking about STEM. If you don't know what STEM is, chances are you are not involved in the subjects. But it's science, technology, engineering, maths. That's what STEM stands for. And I feel like we've been talking for a long time about getting more women and more diverse people into STEM. But obviously Oxfordshire is just huge in science, in tech, in space, in research. And so it's going to be discussed in the coming weeks as we work up to International Women's Day. An all-female panel from the UK's National Synchrotron, which is in Didcot, if you didn't know, will host a workshop in Washington, DC, talking about diversity in STEM. And two of the inspirational women taking part are in the studio with me this morning. Good morning to Dr. Chidinma Okolo, a beamline scientist, a B24, is that correct?
Yes.
I have no idea what that means, but it sounds exciting. And Isabel Boscaro-Clark, Head of Impact Communications and Engagement at Diamond Light Source. Good morning to you both. Thank you for coming in. I mean, we know about what goes on at Diamond Light Source. Can you explain in sort of non-boffin-y terms, Chidinma, about the kind of stuff that happens, what the kind of the beam, the synchrotron enables to happen in terms of science?
Yes. So at Diamond, we carry out a wide range of research from material sciences to engineering and then to biological sciences and medicine. So from the material aspects, it can be battery research or some extreme environmental research, and then for the biological sciences, from vaccine to therapies to virus research, metabolic diseases. And
big deal. That's stuff that will change.
Even
world.
Pollution as well. Air pollution, plastic pollution. These are some of the things that we do at Diamond.
And the in a kind of the most basic way I can kind of describe it, the synchrotron is it's like a super amazing tool that enables really either tiny research or fast research. It sort of boosts things up, doesn't it, to enable it to happen?
The way I always explain it to my friends or to my parents who are not into this stuff is like, so you need very big stuffs to see very tiny things.
Yes.
So it's a gigantic machine or a microscope which enables you to see tiny things in detail.
Perfect. Yeah. I love it. And everyone, it's like that. When you go out to the pub, everyone's like, what do you do for a job? I'm like, I don't want to talk about it right now. It's too complicated. It'll blow your mind. Isabel, tell us what's happening at the workshop, please. This sounds really exciting. Washington, D.C.
Yes, we're heading to Washington, D.C. to the American Association for the Advancement of Science, where we'll be having a panel of about 5 ladies that will be sharing their career paths. The reason for the choice of the all-ladies stand-up is basically there's International Women's Day 3 days after the workshop, so we thought it was really time for us to showcase some of the ladies that are working at the facility. We have about 800 staff and about 23% are women, so it's important that we support them in their career, in their kind of flexible kind of juggling of possibly family life or whatever kind of outside work pressures they have to excel in their careers.
And I remember coming to Diamond Light Source, I think it must have been about 6 or 7 years ago, and there not being many women there, but the women that were there were very young, very cool, like wearing hipster jeans, I remember, and I was thinking, gosh, this is not what I expected from a scientist. Is it still like that? Are people still surprised to see you there?
We want to be definitely trendy.
The thing about Diamond is when I've had my friends come over, they always say this is not. I thought like it would be kind of like a secret, hiding, but everyone is open to welcoming people. It's like, come and see the amazing stuff we're doing here. So yeah.
Why do you love it?
I love Diamond because of the diversity of and portfolio of research that we carry out, and the fact that these things are making. It has impacts in people's daily lives, even though it's basic research, but the fact that it fills gaps in knowledge and has the ability to translate into something that is maybe therapeutic or something that can make an impact in people's life, it makes me wake up every day and want to put in my best to make that happen.
And how did you get involved? How did you end up at Diamond?
Okay, my story starts all the way from Nigeria, where I was born and trained. So I did my bachelor's in Nigeria and my master's, and after applying for some scholarships, jobs. I got one in New Zealand, and I left fully funded for tuition and upkeep. And I went to do my PhD in physiology, and my research was mainly on cardiovascular research and diabetes, the interplay between the two of them. And then when towards the end of my PhD, I started. I realized that I loved microscopy. This was something I really loved, and even though I love cardiovascular research as well, I did not just want to fill that gap. I also wanted to be able to do other things and use this tool, microscopy, to achieve so many things. So towards the end of my PhD, I started honing these microscopy skills, learning a lot about it. And I was specific in my job search. I started looking for microscopy jobs in core facilities where I can support people with what I know. So I found Diamond and applied, and the rest, they say, is history.
Amazing. And how long have you been there?
I started in 20. So when I came, I had just submitted my thesis, and I defended my viva. I did my viva from here and graduated in absentia. And I came as a support scientist, and I've progressed to a senior support scientist, and currently now I'm a beamline scientist. So I've been here for 3.5 years. See.
Fantastic. Sticking around?
Yeah, definitely.
Good. And what about you, Isabel? How did you? What brought you to Diamond Light?
Oh, what brought me? I came from the National Physical Laboratory down in Teddington, where I was doing a similar job previously, and just the variety of science. I think it's one of those places we joke about it. It's called the synchrotron bug, where once you get inside it, you just can't get away from it, because there's such a diversity. You cannot get bored. One day you'll be dealing with heritage science, another day you'll be dealing with engineering research that goes on. So there's such a wealth. We've got 16,000 researchers that are interested in using the facility. So that is bringing a wealth of interactions to us that is very, very special. And considering that they produce knowledge, they produce what we call scientific papers, and that is where they are kind of talking about the range of science that goes on. We've got a catalogue now, about 12,000 of those, and about, I would say, 45% are in the biological area. When you come to Diamond, you don't think of biology, actually.
No,
it's quite industrious in look.
We talked a lot in terms of things like nuclear fusion. I think people think about and the future and kind of amazing scientific breakthroughs in that respect.
Yes,
but there's a lot of health and even things like we were talking about kind of aging archaeological finds and all sorts of things you don't think about.
Yes, there was a beautiful BBC programme. I don't know if the listeners have seen it with Sir David Attenborough that was released about dinosaur research at the facility. So, as I say, you cannot get bored.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the proudest thing that I think we all have at Diamond is the fact that we've opened up to the public on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So we've got about 80,000 visitors that have come to the facility so far.
Amazing.
And,
has anyone broken anything yet?
No. We're very careful.
No visitors, no.
That's my kind of absolute deepest nightmare. You go into a lab and you knock over a test tube.
We have very strict regulations there.
Good.
It's 1 to 6 to just
Good.
make sure nobody
Good.
touches anything that they shouldn't.
And it's Year 9 options this week. I know a lot of parents, a lot of kids will have been going and thinking about. It's sort of the first point, I guess, Year 9 options, where you think about levelling down, specifying, choosing the path you want to go to. If people are thinking about science, tech, engineering, maths, why should they do it? I'm going to put a big question on it.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. I mean, like, why do you think girls are put off, science and tech?
I think because there's a lot of hard work that goes into, progressing, and there's a lot of hard work behind the scenes. So, but I don't think it should deter anyone because the thing about science, the scientific community, is that people are really there to help.
Yeah.
I mean, when I came in as a support scientist, I wasn't fully trained, but you realize that you're surrounded by people at the synchrotron who just want to help you, and you just blend in. And as long as you're willing, you're teachable. You can, having that people skill, you can learn anything you want to learn just with people who are surrounding you. So
amazing.
Yeah.
And I always find that the cleverest people are the sort of quietest, the humblest. Like, I went to do a bit with the Morris dancers in Ducklington the other week, and one of the guys, I said, do you go to the pub and say, I'm a Morris dancer? And he said, well, I'm a rocket scientist at RAL Space. And I was like, brilliant, of course you are. Just casually mentioning that at the Village Hall in Ducklington on a Tuesday night. It's that sort of thing, isn't it? It's like they don't boast about it. Maybe people should boast a little bit more. Might get more people into it.
I know. Also, like, so probably because you think when you mention what you're doing, a lot of people cannot relate to it. So, I mean, also, I think one of the things that we as scientists need to learn is how to communicate your science to the public. You know, get the word out there, say it, break it down in little terms as much as they can understand. I mean, that goes a long way to, you know, making people aware of what you're doing and how it's life-changing as well.
Absolutely. Isabel, can people in Oxfordshire get involved in the workshop? Can they celebrate this? Can they watch
They can
it?
they can actually register to watch. I think they will charge you for it because that's the nature of the conference. But I think if people are interested in having a look at Diamond, we're opening up on the 25th of March, and you can actually enter your names for a ballot, because we've got ballot tickets these days because there's so much demand. And the next one will also be on the 10th of June, so there's regular chances to come and visit the science.
So have a look at Diamond Light Source online.
Yes.
Find out
and
more
also
about
careers, you know, come and have a look. We've got dozens of careers currently advertised, so if you're interested, come and have a go, because we take people from apprenticeships all the way through to senior, mid-career, all levels. So
Brilliant.
You're all very welcome to come and have a look.
Thank you to you both for getting up so early on a Saturday morning on your day off and coming in to talk about women in STEM, science, technology, engineering and maths with Diamond Light Source in Oxfordshire. Here's New Radicals now. This is You Get What You Give at BBC Radio Ox.